Hey everyone, how you doing today? Ron and Chad, Golden Finger Picker, and me, Hart Pickers, and we're here today. Pickers Church. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope you hear us, guys, fine. But how you doing today, Mr. Chad? How was
Good,
everything?
good. Let us know in the chat if you can hear us okay. If you can see us okay. Would appreciate it. Man, is it flipping or not? Because all I see is your salty face, man.
No, it's flipping.
Okay. uh,
I
but
want to
yeah,
see you.
things are good. I got some info on the US Postal Service, so we'll hit that in a little bit once people get in here. But it's been a good week, man. I mean, today I think I shipped out like 30 items from the weekend. It's like, damn. Of course, I was hitting the listings pretty damn hard. I think I went from three 375 or 360 something to 420 something listings. And they're like all different. So I got a couple things I want to get some help on. Maybe people can help me out.
Wait, you
Um,
need help?
oh, I always need help on stuff, dude.
Mental health, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a good shipping weekend too. I ran some auctions, so I mean, some of it was auctions, but I did also have some other big sales. I had a $250 sale and some other ones.
How's the weather up where you're at?
It's been warm, but I think we're about to get some snow tonight. I was actually going to check on that.
Dude, it was 60 degrees today. And all of a sudden, Kim was getting a text message from her college saying the campus is shut down tomorrow. And then I'm running out to the stores and stuff, and everybody's talking about, oh my gosh, they just canceled the trash and everything's closing down. We're supposed to have an ice storm tonight. It's supposed to get down in the 20s, and it's supposed to ice storm. And that happened to us like 3 years ago, right after maybe it was 4 years ago, right after we moved here. Everybody's sprinkler systems that looked like frozen fountains because yeah, everything was just iced over and everything shut down because they don't have salt trucks, they don't have sand trucks, they don't have anything like that down here. So people are freaking out, and it's supposed to hit about 3 o'clock this morning. So
I'm
yeah,
looking at
but
my
somebody
phone.
LOL 20s. It was 8 here today, dude. I'm in Florida. It's not supposed to get that cold ever, ever.
Yeah,
That's
it
like
says chance of snow. We're about 1 inch of snow tomorrow. It's going to turn to rain. It looks like high of 40.
yeah, yep.
But most days are going to be right around that 35 mark.
Oh, they're
Live
putting
up
out
on
all
the coast. That's what
warning.
happens. We live on that little thing. Jet stream comes through. We actually stay fairly warm from the rest of like Massachusetts and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're sending out warnings. Your water pipes are susceptible to freeze. I mean, they just go down this big list of how you're going to be screwed tonight. So,
Actually, I was just talking the other day with a resale that sometimes watch our show, James Hart. He had actually had his water pipes freeze in his house over
yeah.
that last cold spell. I was like, not something
Well,
I would want to
I
look
live
out
in
for.
North Florida, right on the Gulf. I mean, so it gets 20 miles north. It gets a lot colder than what it does here. I mean, like I said, it's been 3, 4 years since we've had anything when it comes to icing or anything like that. So I can deal with that.
We've missed all the snow this year. I think Boston's supposed to get like 4 to 7 or something like that. We keep missing it this year though. So far, we still got February. February, actually, it snowed all the way into April, so we got plenty of time to get snow.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what was the best thing you sold this weekend?
Oh man. Hold
Like,
on. Yeah, you're gonna make me freaking look. Okay.
what? You packed everything. I thought you would have remembered.
I know, dude. I mean, when I get the 20 something freaking listings, I don't pay that much attention. I can't remember. Okay, paid and shipped. Probably the best thing I sold. Okay, here's a pair of. I'll show the. Oh no, those shipped. Let's see. So Kim finally listed some of her textbooks from last semester, and we sold one of them for $50. Oh, I listed some of the vintage gaming systems I had out in the garage. I sold 2 PlayStation 2s, one for $66.99 and one for $58. Finally sold I sold a military helmet for $95. Sold a bunch of those 1950s miniature vehicles. They're Matchbox clones is what they are. Oh yeah, we sold those white where are those at? Oh, the reason why they're not showing up under my paid and shipped, because the guy's in Germany and he asked me to wait to ship those. But yeah, we sold those Doc Martin, a big, tall 20 eye boots. So, but yeah, we had a really good week. Had a ton of items between 20 and 30. I mean, a ton. I see 50, 44, 1999, 1989, 1198, 17, 44, 52, 44, 98, 24, 22. So good bread and butter stuff. I mean, that's just typical bread and butter.
Yeah, I think I had like 12 or 15 of the auctions sold, and it was like most of it sold between like anywhere as low as $5 to like I think one thing we had sold for 150. But like certain things, I just put like 149.99. You know, if it sold at that price, it sold at that price. If it didn't,
Yep.
it's going back on. And then I have a few ending tomorrow. I just want to see if some of this stuff get out of here. You know, some of this stuff I've had damaged and stuff like that. Something I got on bid for tomorrow is already up to 250. So it's like, yay! So I'm guaranteed that sale at least too.
Yeah. Adam wants to know how many active listings do you have, Chad? I've got 420 something active listings right now. So, but yeah, pretty damn
What's the
good.
most you've ever had recently?
Over the past year, I
Yeah.
averaged, dude, over the past 10 years, I've probably averaged, I mean, when I was selling baseball cards and stuff, there was, you know, I've got another account that I would have 2,000, 3,000 just baseball cards, you know, stuff like that. So, but this, I typically on any given day, 250 to 300 listings. But I've been listing a bunch of, you know, getting a lot of lots of items like the coins, like the vintage glass eyes, stuff like that. So it brings up the amount I have in the store, but they're really easy to list. So do you think it matters how many items you have in your store? No, because just like I said, I shipped out 25 items this weekend. You could have somebody that's got 10,000 items in their store that didn't sell 10 items. So it just depends on what it is you have in your store, whether you're set up to ship to sell quickly like a fast nickel, or you know, I mean, there's so many different contributing factors. I could have 10 items in my store and they're $2,000 a piece, so I would be good with one sale a week. You see, so it just depends. So it just depends on what you have in your store, where it's priced at, the quality of it, and I don't. There's several. You don't have to have a huge store to make a living on, and I don't officially make a living because I have a pension. But I you know, on a slow month it's 4,000. On a good month it's 7 to 9. You know, so and we're happy there. That's what you say, Ronnie. I mean, I'm pretty consistent with no matter what I have in my store, I'm pretty consistent with how many over a month's time, I'll sell 100 to 150 items, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, I don't think it's a quality over quantity, more or less, when it comes down to it. I don't think it matters how much you have in your store, just as long as stuff's priced right and you have the right things that people are looking for.
Yeah.
You know, certain things are long tail things, we all know that, but unless they're priced to sell, which, you know. Somebody hit me up today. I have a Louis Vuitton jacket for sale, and it's like $800. Someone contacted me. Hey, I got the same jacket. You want to buy it? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I want to sell this one. I don't want to buy another jacket.
I don't know what it is. I listed 3 PlayStation games. One of them was the Resident Evil Director's Cut. I priced that at $24.99. And there were other people that were priced above me, other people priced below me. It sold really quick. Then I listed another one called, oh crap, it was in a long box. I can't remember what it was, but it was cheap. Like $9.99 or something like that. And somebody bought it quick. But there's a bunch of them that were cheaper than mine. And there's a bunch that were more expensive than mine. I typically won't mess with it if it's under $10. It's like, nah, or I'll lot it up. And then just today, the last one sold. It was a Star Wars Assault 2 or something, and it sold for $9 something. And I'm thinking, hold on a second. I expected these things to sit around because I didn't price them super cheap. But no, they all sold, but yeah.
Yeah, it's like I was telling you earlier. I just had a bunch of games that we had from Walmart for like a year ago. For old, we picked them up for $1 or something. I just sat on them because I didn't send anything to Amazon forever. I collected a bunch of stuff. I sent stuff in. These damn video games are like $6 free shipping on eBay, and eBay. I send them to Amazon. They're selling $17. It's like such a weird, different market sometimes.
Yeah. And I probably could have sent them in, but nah.
Sometimes just doing even merchant fulfill the games, you can sell them, ship them yourself. It just depends on the game. So sometimes they get more on eBay, believe it or not.
Yeah. Dude, I went to my storage unit. I think I told you that. Because I had a gas mask. And I'm like, ooh, I've got a bunch of stuff like that at my storage unit. So I went to the storage unit and I'm pulling stuff out for this gas mask. I was going to add it to make a complete thing. And I'm like, oh, those are cool. It's like, oh, I've had these forever. I'm just going to take them home, get them listed. I already sold these. I listed them. Hold on. I mean, I listed because I had a bunch of boots, and these are old jungle boots. I listed those, and they sold stupid quick. I mean, and I've got Vietnam era jungle boots, and these are they're not newer, but they bring in the money. They're the S2Vs. And they're rocky. But here's the question I wanted to ask. I don't remember where we bought them, but these are combat boots, but they're not military, I don't think, because they're mesh. See, you can see through them. It's mesh and it's got a high shine on it. And I looked on Google. It's from the Hyang Woo. That's on the sole. Hyang Woo.
You wear that with your mesh top, you could be singing that song. Too sexy for my shirt.
And then Too Hung. But I looked on the internet and I could not find anything. And then here was another pair that I got with them. These look like jungle boots, but they've got a zipper and they have the same. These are brand new. They have the same damn labels on the bottom.
Too Hong.
Su Hong Yong. But I couldn't find anything for these. I mean, I think these would be a huge hit for, women. I'm pretty sure they were women's boots, but they were.
I'm definitely going with
where
women's for $100.
You do what?
I'm going with women's boots for $100, Alex.
You think those are $100 a piece?
I have no, never mind. I'm going their women's boots for sure.
Oh yeah, I would say that because they're so small. But yeah,
Those are just odd.
I can't find a size in them or anything. I mean, I've got Katie. I'm going to have her try them on to see if they fit her. I mean, that's about all you can do. It's not like you can measure the bottom of it and get the.
Yo.
What?
Nothing. I just thought
something. Yeah, I don't think they're drill boots or drill. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But they've got the high shine toe and heels. So, but yeah, you won't ever see those are jump boots. Yeah, you could tell they're jump boots with the toe like that. They're jump boots. I don't think you'll ever see jump boots with just canvas because they stripper boots. They need the support for their ankles. But yeah, you found anything cool?
No. I went out today. I got a pair of pants. I mean, I wasn't going to show them, but just a pair of pants. A pair of these like wool hunting pants by Woolrich. That's all they are. Paid $6. I usually get about $60 for these. But outside of that, I really haven't been out doing a lot of trying to catch up on different things we have to do around the house and stuff like that. So nothing too crazy.
Okay, are we ready for some eBay talk and U.S. Postal Service talk? And what started this was I got a message yesterday from somebody that bought an Atlas train. It was only this big, and it was the HO, and it was the cross section like an X with train tracks, and it was cheap. It was like $6 and $4 shipping or something like that, but it was in the package. So he sent me a message saying, "Hey, it shows because it was sold on December 29th, and it showed tracking." He said, "You know, I didn't get it. It says that it was out for delivery, and that's the last we heard of it." So I looked at it, and I'm like, they forgot to scan it. The postman didn't scan it when it delivered because it said it was out for delivery. So what do you think, Ronnie? He got it. It just didn't get scanned in as delivered. So, and I didn't even get upset. I'm like, you know something? It's okay. I said, what I'll do is I'll call the post office tomorrow, which is today. So I called his post office up in northern New York and talked to the guy up there, and he'd said that, yeah, he says, that's messed up. I said, well, do you want my opinion? He goes, what? I said, I think he got it, but it didn't get scanned at the delivery. He goes, yeah, that's probably what happened. And I'm like, yeah. I said, I told him I would call you, so I'm calling you, and we both understand probably what happened. And so I just refunded the guy, and I said, I'm sorry you didn't get it. And I talked to the postman, and they said, if you didn't get it, then maybe sometime it'll show up. So I sent him a refund. It was like $9. And I said, something, have it, it doesn't show it was delivered to you. So here's your refund. And if it does happen to come, Merry Christmas. So I know a lot of people would get upset. And I mean, if this was $100 item, I would probably be a little bit more pissed about it, and like, I know this guy got it. So I maybe I wouldn't be so easy about it, but I'm like, you know something, he could get mad at me if I accuse him of with no proof, you know. It didn't get delivered according to the thing, so he got his money back, and right after that he gave me a positive feedback. So I got to looking, and it showed that on his item it was 0 updates since it was out for delivery on January 2nd. And that's it. No further update. Well, so I got to looking at my other items. And Thursday, this last Thursday, it didn't show that, it just showed that I printed the label. I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, hold on, I dropped this stuff off at my pack and ship place. So I went to the pack and ship place, and I'm like, look, by the time I got there, the items showed up that they were in Colorado, and one was in freaking someplace else. And some other stuff, the tracking looked fine. So the initial scan didn't even show up until its final post office in Colorado. So I went to the pack and ship place, and I said, so what's the deal there? You know, I have my piece that right here. This is what I get for my pack and ship. You know, they scan it in and give me a receipt, so it goes in their system. And when the post office comes, this place has a manifest. Now keep this in mind, guys. This is I dug deep. So they have a manifest, okay, for the postman. And if they have 45 items on the manifest. The postal guy doesn't even check it. He just scans the manifest that 45 items were received, and he throws them in the truck, and he goes away. He does not scan them in. And then we called the post office from this pack and ship, and we says, look, this is a situation. And I gave them the tracking number and all that. They didn't want to hear it. And they said that if they come to any place to pick up, if you have more than 5 items, they are not required to scan each item in. Okay. If it's under 5 items, they will scan it in. If it's over 5 items and you do not have a manifest, then you're out of luck. They're not going to scan it in. They're just going to take it, and there's 35 items or whatever. But what we're trying to find out is on this manifest, when they scan it in, because all it's showing us is a number. When they scan it in and gets to the post office, when they hit it, does all the tracking numbers show up, or does everything have to get scanned again? Because, and we were trying to find this out because there's no sense in having a stupid manifest if he doesn't compare what he's taken to what is on the manifest, because that's the whole point of a manifest, right? So we're all kind of like, we're talking to this guy, the post office, and it's like talking to a brick wall. And he says, well, we're not totally sure. We'll send somebody out. And we said, it's not about sending somebody out. What it's about is customers are paying for tracking, and we have 2 items that we can show right now that the original scan didn't hit until the final destination. And we're like, that's unacceptable, because I was sitting there like, I have an eBay business and I'm on 1-day shipping, and I have to ship this stuff out within 24 hours. So they said that they're going to work on that and get it done. But he says over 5 items, if you do not have a manifest for them to scan, then they're not required to scan in any of the items. Does it get scanned in at the post office? He wouldn't answer. We couldn't get a clear answer. So I came home, and this is the key, guys. I came home, called eBay, and said, because I've been on the phone to eBay a few times, especially through the holidays, with the late shipments and stuff like that. I said, look, it was so busy. The line is out the door. And they said, if you have prepaid packages, dump them in this big bin and we'll take them, and then they don't scan them in. And the guy said on the phone it was January 2nd. He said, we've got stuff here still from December 19th. And we're like, what? They're like, we're really behind. It's like, what the hell? It's still sitting there from December before Christmas. Unacceptable. So I called eBay and I'm like, look, this stuff isn't getting scanned in. And there's no option for them to do it. And I've had a ton of stuff not get scanned in, right? But I am still 0.00 late shipments. I think they may have turned that off because I should have a ton of them. But it's not showing up. And they said, we get it. We totally understand. And if anything happens, we'll go back and correct it and then I am watching that daily and I'm at 0.00. And yeah, it's huge. And the post office, they are so overwhelmed right now and they're not hitting their quote. Dude, I got a guy, this is UPS, and I'm starting to freak out about it. That Lindros jersey, I guess there's a huge, because I had 3 different people contact me Fridays and Saturday about buying that and me getting it to them by Thursday. There's some big hockey game or something Thursday. So I went in and I put all kinds of next day air, all this stuff. And then somebody bought it for UPS second day air. And it was $30 to ship that. And I looked at the tracking today. I just wanted to keep up with it. And it says, this shipment has been delayed due to weather. I'm like, oh, shit. I mean, if he doesn't get that by this game, I have to eat that. That $30 plus. He won't want the jersey. But, yeah, that's messed up. The Flyers are putting in their Hall of Fame. Ah, that must be why. Because I had a lot of people, and they're like, that holiday, that Monday holiday yesterday, he says, they were saying, that's screwing us up. But UPS ran, so that's why he chose that one and paid all that extra money. But right now it's saying that it's delayed due to weather. I'm like, oh, God, no. But, yeah, post office, guys, is all fucked up.
It was funny because I had someone opened up item did not get. I sold the item on the 12th. It went first class, and it automatically tells them they're supposed to get the item by the 15th. eBay's thing.
Yeah.
So they opened the thing on the 15th, and I'm like, I look at the tracking. I'm like, it's at your post office. It got delivered today, but I'm like, I'm not sure why it. Because it's been there like 2 days though. It went from my place to Providence in the same day, and then the next day it was in Texas. So I'm like, oh, okay, they should get it. Because they wanted it for a reason. But then the holiday and Sunday, I guess, messed it up. But they were like, oh, that's crazy. It said 3 days. This is priority. I'm like, no, you didn't get priority. You got first class. I said, I don't know why eBay's telling you otherwise. But you can see on the thing it says first class.
But it seems that every time I call eBay, they're like, we get it. We understand. Yes, no problem. No problem. And I say, well, because it all shows that, like, there was right before Christmas, I had my FedEx stuff and they could look at this on your eBay. I said, my FedEx, it all shows it got scanned in. None of my post office stuff got scanned in. And I mean, what do you think? I just took the FedEx and didn't take any of the post office? No, it's on the post office. And they're like, yeah, we get it. So it's a big issue. It's a known issue, guys. If you have any issues at all, make sure you call eBay and express concern. Like, look, I'm getting my packages out in time. I'm busting my butt to do everything I need to do. And the post office is screwing us over. And they get it. They know what's going on. Yeah, I use FedEx quite a bit. I actually just, that UPS second day air, I signed up to go ahead and do it. And you could print labels from the UPS for your eBay. They intermingle now, which is pretty cool. So now I have a third option. So, but yeah, I usually don't do FedEx, but some options are cheaper. Dude, you get over 5 pounds, FedEx is probably cheaper than Priority.
Only problem is FedEx is slow.
Only if you use Smart Post.
Yeah, but a lot of times Smart Post is, well, sometimes actually ground is a lot cheaper. It just depends on where it's going. Because those postcards I had to send actually send. I don't know if I sent a Smart Post or ground, but it was definitely a huge difference in price between what the postal service. It was like $80 for the guy's postal service. I'm like, based on weight. I'm like, what? Going to Colorado? No, going to Oregon maybe. But that's what happens when you're on the East Coast and you send something to the West Coast, and it's like 10 pounds, and it's like.
Yeah, well, UPS will actually come to your house to pick it up too, so FedEx won't do that.
I like going to the FedEx store or the FedEx drop-off because there's a, what do you want to call it? There's a thrift store in the area.
Yeah.
Like kill two birds with one stone.
So I think it's one thing to really think about the way the post office puts way too much trust in their employees, for one. You know, especially, I mean, because they don't even count the packages. They don't even count the packages, and they just take them. What shows up at the post office, you know, is what he says shows up at the post office. So this dude could be hoarding a bunch of shit, you know. Trust me, if I was crooked, dude, anything that had Amazon on the box, I'd be like keeping. Yeah, I mean, and that's what we said today is that's what the whole point of tracking is. It tracks between, you know, it's a chain of custody is what that is. I mean, that's from my law enforcement and stuff. I mean, when you have something important, there's a chain of custody. We know exactly where it went, and there's I don't know, messed up.
It's kind of funny that like UPS, you'll say UPS is a problem. I used to send things to the Dominican Republic using 2-day service, and they used to get there in 2 days. But they have a problem sending stuff within the U.S. to another place in 2 days.
Yeah. Somebody said I would agree that if you increase the item count in your store, would increase chances of selling more items. Yeah, and that's the basic idea, I guess. You know, even a broken clock is right twice a day. You know, if you don't know what the hell you're doing, but you have 1,000 items, yeah, you may sell 1 or 2 pieces just because you have 1,000 items in your store. But I think it's more about knowing what you have, having an item that's in demand, and presenting your item at a good cost.
I mean, look at Pete, for instance. He doesn't have anywhere near, 500 items in his store, 600 items. It's in between like what me and you have, and he beats us both by 3 or 4 times, 5 times what we make.
50,000 in a month, yeah.
So I mean, it just depends on what you have and having the right items. You know, I mean, that's what it all comes down to. And if you're a clothing seller, a lot of times, just because the clothing seller, unless you're selling that nickel and dime stuff, you're not going to sell all that much stuff. It definitely does take time. And our mailman, for whatever reason, because I had like 30 packages going out today, he scans each and every one of them. Maybe we just have a really nice postman, but he likes us. He's nice to us. He just scans each and every one of them. I could hear him from my thing at his truck. Ting, ting.
Yeah. Well, see, the post guy, they will, like if they came to my house, but these businesses that they go to, No, they're not doing it, even though they're supposed to. And oh, I got a message today right before the show. Somebody, I'd sold something, and they're like, I just want to let you know that what you sold me was awesome. Absolutely awesome. I tried to leave you feedback, but it's not letting me leave feedback. But I just wanted to let you know. And I'm like, well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm glad you like your item. And I don't know why eBay's not allowing you to leave a feedback. So I don't know if there's a glitch going on with, people leaving feedback. So I don't know. Don't
Yes,
know.
Adam. I schedule a pickup. I will not go to our post office. If you know, I live in Hyannis, Massachusetts. Our post office is on a main street, and you have to like fight for parking. There's only like 2 spots in front of the post office. Otherwise, you have to go into the library and park. And it would be a pretty good walk to get to the post office, with packages of how many, plus also to wait in line because that post office always got a line of like 10 people plus, and there's usually only 2 things. And they do the passports there. Every time I go in there, somebody's doing a passport, so it ties up one whole window. And it's just, man, if I had to go drop my packages off there, I'd go crazy.
Yeah, somebody said they've had zero issues with the post office. And it really depends on what your interaction with them is. I would say there wouldn't be an issue if I would stand in line and wait for my stuff to get to the counter and then them scan it in like that. I could understand, and I probably would have zero issues. But whoever said they has no issues with the post office, go through your sold listings and check out your tracking number on each one. And I guarantee you will find some that didn't have an initial scan, and it didn't even show up that it was scanned in until much later down the line. Like I said, unless you stand there in line and wait for them to scan each one in. Yeah, I ended up taking all my stuff to the post office today and dumping it in the big bin where you can dump it, But yeah.
No, I've never looked into doing a scan sheet for my guy. I looked into it one time. It's like I kind of forget about it, so it's after
Yeah.
it's done, and because I'll ship over like a few days, especially like over the weekend. I knew I had so much stuff selling like Friday night, Saturday, because I don't ship Saturday just because I don't ship Saturday. Like, unless it's somebody has to get something or if I'm in the mood. But most of the time, it's not a day it counts on eBay. But I forget it.
Dude,
But
I got off my mail lady today. Oh my God. And I didn't do it on purpose, but I ordered all my post office boxes. The big, when you get the big, heavy, the big post office boxes, the priority mail boxes. I mean, I probably had 8 big ones and then smaller stuff. I mean, I even had just got my labels in and stuff like that. And by the time I got outside, Kim says the lady's dropping stuff off. By the time I opened the door and I'm like, oh, she looked at me and she says, I wouldn't be laughing if I were you. I'm like, no. I said, I knew they were coming, but I just didn't know when. And I always want to meet you and help you unload these things because I know they're a pain. And she goes, yeah, I wasn't trying to be mean with you. It's like, hey, I get it. And tomorrow, if I'm not iced in, she's going to have a $20 Walmart card put in a post office. I mean, put in our mailbox for her because she does go above and beyond for us, I think. So we do appreciate her. But
yeah,
yeah,
ours gets a lot of our postman gets a lot of things. So we give him gift cards and
yeah.
certain things. We Gretchen was at CVS. She got him a little mail truck. He probably has a bunch of them. I bet you. You see it, and it's like, oh, there they are. I think they're little wind-up toys.
Yeah. I tell you guys, if in the chat, if you aren't taking care of your barber, the person who cooks your food, and your postman, then you need to be doing it. So,
My barber needs to be fired.
because they can all screw you over in a heartbeat if they wanted to, if you think about it. So, yeah.
Can I get a straight save, sir?
Or a train conductor, man. He can make your day. Well, I saw Don and they can make your day pretty bad.
I would think a police officer. You can't tip those, though.
You can do nice things. Absolutely. Absolutely. If they're in line to eat, we've done it. At McDonald's, there was a police officer behind us, and we just.
Well, it's funny. I used to buy when I used to work at the restaurant because we had an open kitchen. They used to come in. I used to buy a lot of their foods and stuff like that because I lived in the same town. So I thought I'd get away with a certain little infractions of speeding. I did for the most part, except for the one that gave me a ticket and I bought his breakfast like 2 days before that.
Oh, that's funny. Drummer says, I cut my own hair, make my own food, and drop my own packages off. Then you need to buy yourself something then. Right on. You're one of them perfect people. Treat yourself. Yeah. Well, that's funny.
Airline pilot. Tip an airline pilot.
They get paid more than enough to get you to where you need to go safely.
I ever tell you on the Dominican flights they applaud when they land the plane? It seems like somebody just got the award.
That would always happen. That would always happen when we're flying from Germany to the States or from the States to Germany. Because by the time that's like 14 hours and everybody's stinking by that time, and the kids have been up and down 100 times and screaming, you're just glad to get where you're going.
But I mean, when I was in American, within the domestic flights, I never did that. And also in the international flights, it's like they do that.
Yeah. I think that's typical. Yeah.
But prices are going up. Another thing too next week.
Well, that's one thing we were talking today. It's like postal prices are going up. They're laying off people, and then they're so backlogged that it's unbelievable. Everything is delayed. Everything is late. And I don't know. Back when, I don't know. You work until you get the job done, You know
what? Because I just think it's funny. Our job was close to the post office. Dude, those guys are miserable. Talk about people that don't like their jobs. Postmen. And they get paid decent money. I mean, they don't get paid that bad. I mean,
speaking of the gas mask, there it is. Gas mask sold. I listed it yesterday. That's what I try to do. I try to make these quick flips. Dude, I've had that gas mask forever. And I mean, I don't know. Just money sitting in the, box, I guess. Like in the bank. Let's see. We got any questions? We got the college picker in. Right on, brother. How's travels?
I was just reading. Somebody said they don't like to pump their own gas.
I remember the days where you could pay an extra penny per gallon and then they would pump it for you.
Almost, I mean, and maybe it's just here, but there's not too many full service places anymore.
Everything's automated now. You pay by card and that's it.
There's only like one or two places, and I can tell you right now, like last week when it was 0 degrees and I was wearing shorts one day to run out and do some errands, there was no way I was pumping gas. I found the only one I know in the area.
Dude, I think a drive-through convenience store would be a money maker. Money maker.
Oh, you could do like they have in other countries. They have like you call the corner store and they deliver the stuff to your house.
Yeah. I think nowadays you can have a Walmart app and do your shopping and then pull in over the side and pick it up. they have it all packed for you, and they did the shopping for you.
Yeah, when I used to live in the Dominican Republic, there was a Camaldo, and used to call them up, and he'd be like, "Oh, I need you know, need some liter of Coke and some rum and
Yeah.
6 buns or 6 rolls." And 15 minutes later, the guy would pull up on his motor scooter, have his little piece of paper there telling you what you owe.
Yeah, there ain't. Chad, they have a drive-through gas station 1.5 hours south of me. Yeah. Yeah, the drive-through stores, I bet they're busy as crap. People just don't like the dude. If I didn't have to get out of my car to go get my smokes and stuff like that, I would totally pay a little bit more to just go through a drive-through.
Drive
Absolutely.
through, drive through, like dry cleaners would not be a bad idea.
Yep.
Drive through grocery store, which I don't know.
The crazy card knows what a 17A1 is. M17A1. Yep. That's the gas mask I used. Yep. And yeah, $50 is pretty good. It was in really good shape, and it had the chemical hood on it and all that. So, dude, I actually found a because I had a bunch of the cases and stuff. I've got a lot full of cases and stuff. I actually found an atropine injector. Yeah, yeah. I bet he knows what that is too.
I think I drive through cleaners in Louisiana. We're behind the times up here.
Yep. Let's see. Dude, you're at 209 viewers. Very good. Thanks everybody for stopping in tonight. We appreciate it.
Hell yeah! Ding 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 ding.
Chad and Ron, I would like to hear your thoughts on good till canceled versus sell similar. Thanks. Yeah, I'll give you an example. How it screwed me up. Damn. Right here is how it screwed me over. Right here. Right here. We got a bunch of Mary Kay stuff, and this is actually an extra one that I bought from my local. If you have multiples and you sell similar, it changes the quantity. It goes back to that original quantity, and I oversold. So I went locally and paid double what I sold them for to make sure that my customers got the items instead of canceling the order. So it cost me big time. If you look at my eBay right now, it'll show 0 items unsold over the past 90 days. 0. Why? Because everything is good till canceled now. Everything I do is good till canceled. It renews every month, but it's good till canceled. Everything.
So
Ronnie?
if you do that, it doesn't show up in your solds.
No, I have 0 sold. Look. Okay, the one on my phone, it only shows 60 days. Come on.
So it only show if you had multiples of something.
No.
Because
I have nothing unsold. It does. The listing never ends.
Oh, okay. So, I'm getting that.
Yeah, mixed. So I don't have to relist anything.
Okay, never mind. My dumbass freaking thought something else.
See, if you look right here, 416 active. I've sold 216, and I've got 0 unsold. So, but yeah, I've got to ship. I sold 9 items today. 6 of them need to be shipped, and 3 of them are awaiting payment. But yeah,
I know for myself, I always like doing 30 days for whatever reason, because it makes me reevaluate that item. In a way, sometimes if I see an item more than enough, I tried 7 days, I've tried 10 days. I didn't really see much difference with what I sell. So
I'm telling you, I have a lot more. I don't worry about it, because the reason why I changed the way I did it is because with what I was doing wasn't freaking working. You had to actually keep track of everything. So, so that's just the way I did it, because it cost me quite a bit of money. So, I changed it, and I've never looked back. And I am able to keep up with my items because I'm always running sales. And so what I'll do is say I'll put a 20, and this is a new thing eBay's doing, and I love it. Love it. If I have a 20% off sale, say I've got an item at $100. I have a 20% off sale. And so it shows that there's a 20% and it's at $100 or $80. Okay. So what I do after, if I'm scrolling through and I see, I'm like, oh, here's this item, man. I've had it for a while and it's at 20% off and it's showing $80. I can go in, edit that posting, change it to $50. Okay. Because it used to be when you did that, it ended your sale and that's where that price will stay. But what happens now is, say this thing was on for sale for $20. I mean, 20% off, but it was $80. I found that listing and I went in and edited it and changed it to $50. Now it says that that listing is 50% off, but the original price stays there. So when that sale's off, it goes back to that original price. So you can say, okay, I'm going to run another 20% or 30% because you can keep track that way. And that really works. You can just keep dropping the price on a particular item, but your main price stays up there. It just changes the sale price. And I love that. Love it. That's how you can get rid of your older stuff.
I've tried to make a sale in my store recently, and I can't figure out for the life of me. Like I thought I did it, and then like a day went by, and I'm like, oh, stuff's still selling at full price. So I went back in there, and it's like no items were selected. I'm like, I ran one when I was in Florida on vacation. Why did it work then, but it's not working now?
Chad, what happens when you raise the price on that item on sale? When you raise the price higher than what it originally was? I don't know. I've never done that. But I'm sure like I could have gone back in there and raised it from 50. I could put $60 on there and then it'll say 40% off. It keeps on, because it used to be when your item was on sale, if you change the price, the sale's gone on that item. And then what happens is if you did it for a couple items and not for everything else, or say you put something at 50%, it's like, man, I need to get rid of this. You put it at 50% off, and then everything else, the sale ends, then you go and put it 20% off your whole store. Then that thing that was 50 now is going to be 30. So it's hard to keep track. So yes. Mary Kay, Canon will come after you for selling their product. Been there. Yeah, it's been a little while, hasn't it, Ronnie, since I sold to Mary Kay?
Yeah, probably 6 months now.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues at all, and we sold a lot of it. And it was all new. Yep.
I had an issue recently with selling some, what was it? They flagged my ass for MBT boots or something like that. Let me make sure I'm getting the right name here because I'm not sure now.
Yeah, Mary Kay would sell fast because they have a set price. It's not like you can't go anywhere to find it cheaper, as long, unless it's eBay, and that's where you'll be able to find it. You can't get it cheaper from a dealer. They just won't give it to you cheaper.
And they flagged them as counterfeit, but they took them down. And then when I called eBay, they told me that they weren't counterfeit, but that you weren't allowed to sell them as.
What?
I'm like, I said, why did they? And then they gave me the number to the email to the person to contact them. I was like, okay.
You're not allowed to sell them new.
I was like, so why did they mark them as counterfeit? Why didn't they mark it as something else though?
Not
You
an
know,
authorized dealer or some shit.
I just think it's funny how they mark. I mean, you know, some of these places they mark things and they don't really understand maybe the repercussions that can happen. It's not on the Vero list or anything. There's plenty of other people that are selling them.
Monica,
So that part,
with the
yeah,
military, you can't sell Harley Davidson as new. Wow. Huh.
we're learning something new every day.
I've sold new Harley Davidson stuff. Maybe it's recently changed. So, man, it's getting pretty tough now. You can't sell new. I don't know.
Damn it! I'm going back to macaroni or whatever it was.
So
What was that website called?
you gonna list those boots as used now?
No, I'm gonna sell them on Facebook or something. I'm scared shitless. I don't need no freaking week-long suspension or anything like that.
It's not a copyright infringement if it's, I mean, I don't see how it could be a copyright infringement. I mean, I know what you're saying, but that would be like I'm using their copyright to say I'm using their freaking item, you know? So it's not. I got flagged for selling some Kevlar motorcycle things. Kevlar. I just sold a Kevlar helmet, military helmet, just $94. Kevlar, I put in the title. I guess I lucked out on that one.
You'll get hit like a week later. It's like after your listing sold, they're like, "Hey, did you know
After
you
they've
sold
gotten
this?"
it and, you know, and they paid for it. And
It's like, how shady is that?
yeah, I don't know.
But
It just,
it's really weird because then that like the copyright things that should be marked off as
yeah,
if you want. I know I talked about this one to death,
China
but if you
shit.
went, well, if you went on eBay alone right now, went on eBay and you looked at the vintage advertising, probably 90% of it is all repop stuff, and probably 50% of the people are trying to sell that stuff as like vintage old and trying to rip people off literally on it, and people fall for it every day, and that should be copyrighted, I would think.
Yep,
Hello, Mr. TJ.
they do. It all depends on some people. I mean, I know somebody personally that just got a suspension on eBay for listing something new, and it was one of these companies. So yeah, it's like, man, it gets hit. Ronnie's been hit. Pete's been hit. I've been lucky because I'm the one that pushes the envelope with medical equipment and all kinds of crap
Well,
like that.
you've
Remember?
had your hits before too, though, but it's been a while.
Yeah, they've taken stuff down, but I've never been suspended.
Yeah, you have.
No.
You didn't get hit with like a 7 day.
Oh, hell no. Nope.
I mean, you could still sell stuff, but you just can't list stuff.
No.
You didn't get hit? No? Okay.
So
Just me and Pete holding that L.
maybe I did. I don't know. I can't recall it. So I don't know.
I remember they did mine over a football jersey. I was like,
I
really?
mean, dude, remember that big old uh that big old bullet thing? The wooden one, it was wooden and they took it down and I mean threatened me with all kinds of shit. I'm like, it's wood. It's not even a real. And then I don't know how many times I've been nailed for the remember the breathe or that machine I got when we were picking together.
Oh, the breathing
Yeah,
machine.
I got nailed on that.
The lion, too. Didn't you get hit on the damn taxidermy lion?
The taxidermy lion, but they called me and they said, well, they actually called and they said, well, we took it down. This is why. And I said, yeah, they said, well, is it lion fur? And I'm thinking, they go, because that's an endangered species. I'm like, no, I don't think it's lion fur. They're like, well, we kind of need to know what it is before you relist it. Like if you relist it, you have to say this is, and I ended up, I think I still have it somewhere. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. Dude, I will not even sell purses. That's what Pete got nailed for. Got suspended for A purse that he had the freaking paperwork for, the authentication paperwork, and they just did it anyway.
Yeah, that shady. I mean, I sold that Chanel purse over the summer, and I had everything I needed, and I was like, oh, here we go. Watch this. I didn't
Yeah.
know if that thing sold, and I never heard from the buyer. I never heard from anybody. It was like, oh, okay.
We will sell vintage. Like we've sold 2 or 3 vintage Coach, the all leather ones, the old stuff, and no real issues. But I've got some Coach purses right there that I'm not even going to list because it's the brown and it's got the Coach, the C all over it. I got 2 of them, and I'm not listing those because those are the ones that are counterfeited. And Kim looked at him. She goes, "There's no way those are counterfeit. Those are real." So I don't know.
And it's really weird too because you'll hear like people get suspended or like indefinitely suspended, and it'll be like their first offense.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that it happens to quite often. Not quite often, but like once a year they'll get hit with something, and it's like,
Yeah.
go on about your way. So it's really weird. I don't know what triggers it or what it is.
Graham Dallas is saying, "Holy crap, you guys are scaring me in my first year." That's why, guys, and I'm not joking around here. That's why we always say that if you're a new reseller, you need to pay attention to detail because they don't leave a lot of room for you to make a mistake. A big mistake will get you thrown out on your ear. So make sure you cross your eye or dot your I's and cross your T's and pay attention to detail. Make sure that you're not listing something that is used as new. Make sure that you're not, if you don't know what a damn item is, don't say that you've tested it and it works fine. Don't take risks. I mean, once you're in it for a while, you can, if you're like, you've got something, it's like, I can risk this, I'm pretty sure. And I'll just take the chance, it works fine. And
I don't like taking chances.
Yeah, I mean, but we will own that. We will own that as well. And, there really hasn't ever been anything. It's just after you're doing it a while, you're like, typically, I mean, I think one of the last ones I did that with was a Polaroid camera that I got because I always kept spare things to test them with. And the battery went dead. So I put it in and it didn't spit the picture out and it didn't even run. And then I'm like, oh, could it be bad or could my battery thing be? So I tested my battery. My battery in the film was dead, but I took a chance on it. And, but I was willing to take that chance. If somebody sent me a message saying, "Hey, I got this, it doesn't work." "Oh man, I'm really sorry. Here's your money back." Bam. "Is there anything else I can do for you?" "I'll send you a note. I'll send you a free one next time I pick it up." Whatever you got to do. And just, but you got to own your mistake.
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of fake Louis Vuitton stuff. Almost every thrift store you walk into is the fake Louis Vuitton bags.
Dude, check this out. Kim looked at some purses in our thrift store. They were Coach purses, just like those. And they were fake as shit, right? And we talking to the guy that works there, he's like, "Yeah, most of the ones we get are fake. That's why they're priced, here." Dude, I took a picture of those and put them in the reseller society. You would not believe how many people said, "Those look good to me. Those are not fake. I'm like, are you guys out of your freaking minds? You can really, it's like unbelievable. And I don't know. It's just, it can be frustrating. Ugh.
You definitely have to be careful. I can, for the most part, I mean, Louis Vuitton and like even Chanel stuff I'm pretty good with. But there's a lot of stuff I'm not good with. Like, I'm better with those brands than I am Coach or what's the other one? Julian Burke or whatever. I don't know nothing about those. Or Coach.
Dawn, I
sold anyone.
understand. Yeah, Dawn says, "What if I tell you that they're all fake?" And then, buy them to get them out of your hands. Because somebody said, "Oh, those are real. Those are real." I said, "Well, how many do you want?" And they're like, "None at that price." I'm thinking, what? Yeah. But yeah. That hour went quick.
Is that an hour? Right, yes, it is.
I sell expired coffee that I get out of the dumpster behind my local Bed and Bath Beyond. Right on L Lowry 68. So you're pulling coffee out of the trash and selling it, huh? That's cool.
Oh, well.
Don's been a perk collector for 40 years. I can help you authenticate. There you go. Don will be the next person I call. But I'm not even buying. The only reason why we have these Coach purses down here is because we got them in a lot. One of them was a vintage leather one, and we've already sold it on eBay. So got them all for like $10. Remind me not to buy coffee from eBay. Yeah. Anything you put in your mouth, man, you need to be careful where it comes from when you're buying off of eBay.
That just sounded weird.
Yeah. I've bought coffee off of eBay before. Not in the past couple of years.
Well, Mr. Chad, any last words?
Guys, if you're having issues, you need to go through and check your items, making sure that they're on their way to your customers. I do that every day, and we'll just scroll through, click, 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 and make sure everything got off okay, everything got scanned in. If you have any issues to where it's like, look, I shipped these, call eBay, tell them, say, I'm really worried about my my analytics and stuff like that, and I shipped them, but they're not getting scanned in. They know the post office is screwing up bad. So I think they'll be gentle with us if you let them know. If you don't let them know, if you're late, they'll give you the ding. I mean, because it's automatic. But if you let them know, they can adjust it for you.
Yeah, whatever he said.
That's it.
Follow his advice. But that's about it. So my last words would be have a good week. I'll see more of you later. Don't worry about this eBay stuff. Don't worry. Don't let it stretch you. Don't worry about getting suspended because the chance of it happening is slim to none.
Know what you're saying. And if there's
I mean, like for good, you might get hit with a little suspension thingy, but if you don't learn your lesson, you're still selling those damn fake hockey jerseys from China. Yeah, you probably deserve to be suspended eventually.
Do they notify you if you get a ding? Hell no. You need to keep tracking your analytics, man. You need to go look at that. Ronnie will do an in-depth show on your analytics, so he'll probably do it tomorrow. There you go, buddy.
Yay! All right, everyone. Have a good night. See you later. Remember, if you're not subscribed to Chad's channel, subscribe to him. Golden Picker Picker. Thumbs up, thumbs down, comment, subscribe, do whatever. See you later. Bye.
Thanks, guys.